Get ready for a trip of a lifetime where you can play like a kid but party like an adult. You know you're in Cottonwood, Idaho when you see this. No, not this, that. Right now, Airbnb experiences are only in select cities like Seattle, Washington. So let's see how I go from this to this. We are on the set of a brand new talk show coming your way September 18th. Every dad at home right now loves you, but they also secretly hate you. Welcome to Bedrock City, yabba dabba do. And here at the Neon Museum, the oldest sign is this green shack sign dating back to the 1930s. If your New Year's resolution is all about working out, despite your odds not being so great, I still want to play. Oh my goodness, I'm like scared, but this is so cool. Including this giant dinosaur slide. I think this one right here next to this peace sign. How many times do you say, this weekend I'm gonna organize my house, and then, well, you don't? Well, Bart Flatursky, he is the same way, and I'm gonna show him how to declutter his house with 5 easy tips. So this is your basement down here.
Slash storage unit.
Slash holding all your stuff until the time being.
For everything that I want to deal with later or never.
From holiday decorations to an old AC unit and unused bikes, Bart's basement is an organizational nightmare. Do you sometimes forget that you have all this?
Yes, I want to forget. I don't want to remember that it's here.
Time now to put the 5 easy decluttering tips to the test. First things first, the easiest way to declutter a room like this is actually to pick one item per day and get rid of it so it doesn't seem as daunting. Mm-hmm. If you were to do that and you came down here once, what would you get rid of first?
I think there are many options, but I think the AC unit, the standalone AC unit, could go first.
Okay, Bart, second tip. That would be asking yourself, do you love it? Do you use it? And will you ever need this again?
No, I don't love it. No, I don't use it. I doubt that I would ever need it again.
Okay, if that's too much for you to handle, start small. Everybody has a junk drawer, and you know what I'm talking about. Like, what is this? Everybody needs a little positive reinforcement, so if you start small, then you can work your way up. Maybe you don't have a messy basement, but you have a lot of paperwork scattered throughout your desk. If you're like Bart and you already organized it, that's great, but there's another way to declutter your space, and that is actually taking a photo of all your documents and putting them in the cloud. Last tip, adopt a zero accumulation rule. So how that works is if you take one item in, you gotta take one out. For the now, I'm Annie Taylor. From the town of Bedrock. We begin in Williams, Arizona, just 30 miles south of the Grand Canyon. Welcome to Bedrock City, yabba dabba do.
It's a theme park of the Flintstones, and there's all the houses that you walk through, like Fred and Barney's house, and the jail, and the medical center, and they're furnished. And it's just an imaginary Bedrock City.
Built in 1972, the Speckles family created an entire theme park dedicated to the most notable Stone Age family. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. The Flintstones.
No, I don't get sick of it. It's a fun thing.
You're probably wondering why Flintstones? Well, Linda's family was part owner of the original Flintstone theme park in South Dakota and said, you know what? The West Coast needs a Fred Flintstone too.
And there's 6 million people that go up there a year. But this is a little bit of a pit stop for people to run and have fun.
For the past 4 decades, Bedrock City has been the last stop for tourists along their drive to the Grand Canyon. And it's a place most visitors never forget.
I have people come in and say, I was here 40 years ago and I'm bringing my grandchild here. So it does cross generations.
My favorite part is the people. They're in a good mood and they're having fun.
There are tons of fun things to do here for kids, including this giant dinosaur slide.
I think it gives people a chance to play. I think people forget how to play and run and use their imagination and just have a good time. It's so colorful. There's great pictures to be had.
How cool is this? This is Fred's house. Let's go take a look inside. It's a little small in here. The childhood cartoon you grew up watching has come to life, and letting your imagination run wild on this 5-acre lot is easy to do. Let's ride with the family down the street. During your adventure at Bedrock City, you can meet the whole Flintstone gang, like Barney, Betty, Wilma, and of course, Pebbles and Bam Bam.
I want to take a picture.
Holly hopes her father's legacy will continue as more and more families visit the park each year.
Whether it's a roadside attraction or whether it's taking a hike someplace, unfortunately, I don't think we take advantage of those kind of things as often as we should.
One of the most memorable experiences to do at Bedrock City is, of course, take a ride in the car. But you should know every day kids of all generations come to experience this, well, unique roadside attraction. For the Now, I'm Annie Taylor. A store full of goodies and holiday treats. This is Hammond's, where everything is sweet.
Hammond's products were always the best.
A candy wonderland with rainbow lollipops, decadent chocolate bars, gooey marshmallow caramels, and an entire wall coated in assorted sweets.
Kids absolutely love candy, and quite frankly, kids, parents, grandparents as well.
The magic behind the candy creations goes back nearly 100 years. 4 generations later, owner Andy Schumann says everything still looks and tastes just as sweet as it once did.
It may not be the Hammonds family, but those people that are working in our kitchen today learn from the Hammonds family and learn from, the grandson of the original owner.
Hammond's Candy creates all sorts of sweet treats, but during the holiday season, the star of the show is, of course, the classic candy cane, and today we're going to get an all-access pass on how they make it.
We do put it aside and add it to a different batch.
On the other side of the looking glass, artists are hard at work making ribbon candies, peppermint pillows, and the traditional candy cane.
Corn syrup, sugar, and water.
Red and white striped candy begins with boiling sugar in a big kettle.
This candy's 325 degrees right now.
Once the temperature reaches 325 degrees, the molten mixture gets poured onto a cooling table where concentrated color gets swirled in. Once the sugar cools down to a taffy-like consistency, it's time for the candy to get its stripes.
Each one of the batches is going to produce about 550 to 600 candy canes.
Now onto the candy puller, where I assisted in the flavoring process.
Oh my goodness, I'm like scared, but this is so cool. It smells just like mint.
We want to get all the air bubbles out.
Next up, the pulling of the candy to form into the candy cane shape we know and love.
Every single candy cane we do is going to have just a little bit of a difference in it. And I think that's one of the things that makes our candy so unique and special.
The final step before packaging is sculpting the crook of the cane.
With that big batch of candy, it will take about 30 minutes from start to finish to get 600 candy canes.
There you go, out the other side, a sweet treat from Hammond's Candy, packaged up, ready to go to you and your family this holiday season. For the Now, I'm Annie Taylor.